I know the game of the rich. My rich dad taught me. You know it because you're the banker. The bankers and the rich play is different than what they teach you in school. All over the world, what does school teach you about money? And the answer is nothing. And that's not a mistake. That's not an accident. I knew that. Most people know that. The way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is never teach them what the rich know. So if you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which came out in 1997, it's what the rich teach their kids about money, the poor and middle class do not. Poverty hurts. I mean, I don't like it. And I don't like that our academic system's so corrupt. You know, we know the banking system's corrupt. We know politics is corrupt. But academics is just as corrupt.
I mean, one thing if it's the banking and the politics, but this is where we send our children and we trust them to do the right things for them, and yet they're being not taught something so fundamental. Like you asked your dad when you were a kid, Dad, you asked your teacher, when are you going to teach us about money? And it was just
never.
Well, never.
And they'll never will. You know something. What do you know? Share it. What is financial education? It's not get a job, work hard, save money, and invest in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. The financial industry is two things, debt and taxes. In 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, and the US dollar became debt. And we still tell kids to go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, and get out of debt. Now, who tells them to do that? That's the most ridiculous thing there is.
The book starts and it says, lie number 1, saving money will make you rich.
Yeah, it never will. You know that.
All taught that as kids.
Why would you save it and why would you work for it if they can print it faster than you can work for it? Why do you keep saving when they're printing it? The rich don't work for money. Don't you touch that stuff.
It's very subtle, right?
Yep.
They don't say, I'm going to train you to be a worker bee the rest of your life, but they educate you in a way where that's what you come out.
Right.
What was he trying to do those first few months were you working for him? What was he trying to get across to you? Because he taught you the hard way about money.
And she says, if you're going to be successful in your life, you've got to find the best teachers. And a great teacher is somebody who comes from the inside, not the outside. But in school, you don't know if your instructor is for real or not. That's where the fake teacher comes from. I said, I want you to teach me about money. So why should I teach you? He says, but if I teach you, you work for me for free. And I said, why for free? And my poor dad went nuts. He says, because if I pay you, you think like an employee. Your brain will change. If you learn never to work for money, you'll be a rich man.
And this is powerful. Once you give someone a paycheck, their brain turns off.
Correct.
Because it's...
And then the promise of a pension.
Right.
And job security.
Which is kind of a paycheck in disguise.
Correct.
After you stop working. Give the man a fish, eats for the day, teach him to fish, eats for a lifetime. And most poor people confuse assets for liabilities. They think their home is an asset, it's actually a liability.
Right. An asset is a noun, like a house. Cash flow is a verb. So to understand if it's an asset or liability, it takes a noun plus verb. So if the cash is flowing out of your pocket, it's a liability. If the cash is flowing into your pocket, asset, verb, it's an asset. So I own 7,000 rental properties. Those are assets. Every month, the cash flows in. Whereas many people have the big house on the hill and the cash is flowing out.
Right.
And they're going broke.
Right, it's like a frame of mind. The other thing the poor don't understand is the number one expense for most people is taxes. And yet we don't even see it. Isn't that weird? You walk around and you look at the paycheck and say, that doesn't seem right, and you don't realize that the government's got a huge hand in your pocket and you are doing nothing to minimize that. Again,
Correct.
This is what's very different about the rich and the poor.
The rich don't work for money. His number one expense is tax. See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive.
Started investing when I was 11. I just dithered away until when I was 7 and 8 and 9. So unfortunately, I didn't get started until I was 11. But I bought my first stock when I was 11, and then I experimented with a whole bunch of things, the timing of stocks and charting and doing all these crazy things. It was a lot of fun.
One of the most important things you have in your life is time. It's one of your greatest assets, or it's your liability.
I read all the books on investing in the public library and I ate it up. It was fascinating to me, but I had no framework. I was just searching for something. I was hoping that little things on a chart would tell me something about what a stock was going to do. It was kind of crazy, but everybody else was doing it, so I figured I'd do it too. Sometimes you turn the chart upside down, it still wouldn't help. Then in 1949, I read The Intelligent Investor by Ben Graham. I'd never heard of him up till then. And there are really only 2 chapters in that book that are the key to it. But they set my philosophical framework.
I was a New York Times #1 bestseller. People would be done. They did it. I'm writing another book.
You writing the book right now?
Yeah, what happens if you are a 2-time New York Times #1 bestseller? If you get the 2, what happens if you get the 3? Hey man, how do books become successful? Who publishes them? I want to start a publishing company, Heartbeat Publishing. Why not? That's the thing. All I'm doing is sparking the awareness in others to go, why not? Why can't I create? Why can't I start? Why can't I be a business? Why can't I be a CEO? Why can't I be a tech guru? Why can't I fucking create cooking products, lotions, scents? There's so much that some people just don't understand they can do. Let me be a spark to show how many different, you don't have to do just one thing. When it's all said and done, my book is gonna be full of all the shit that Kevin Hart did. Because I never was content with doing just 1, 2, or 3. Why not? Kevin, why are you creating fucking health and wellness products? Why not? I'm big on health and wellness. Why can't I try to create something that I feel is fucking great and jump into a space that I'm already in? I already give 100% of me in this space. Why not? Why can't I talk about financial wealth? Why can't I go back and educate those that don't know? Why not? You don't got the time. I make time. Happy.
Yeah, I could tell.
I'm genuinely happy. Discovery makes me happy. Like when you find different things to be excited about, it makes me happy. And it's weird when it clicks. In school, they used to tell you all the time, information is key. Read these books. There's so much knowledge. You're like, man, fuck that book. Got time to read that book. I want to go home. Goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog. I want to play. I'm at level 3. I ain't got time to read this book. The information and stuff that was forced down your throat, at a certain age, you just may not be receiving it correctly, but then it clicks. And you may gain information differently. And what you do with that information is up to you, but people have different roads they can go down. The knowledge and the common sense that I have naturally allow me to gain information, apply it differently. It allowed me to grow smart in so many different avenues to where I said, oh my God, I found my niche, I found my talent. And now there's other things that my talent can take me to. I don't have all the knowledge and awareness, but I can align myself with people to do that, can teach me. Because now, guess what? Learning is cool.